Hi there, I'm Lauren from Go for Growth, and today I'm going to be running you through the registration process for the electronic tendering site Intend. Now, Intend do host portals for a number of different organisations, and as you can see from my screen today, I am going to be using the Sandwell Metropolitan Borough Council portal. You can see here that for the registration on Sandwell's portal, they do require information regarding company details, business classifications and company categories. Now, if you do come across any other Intend portals that do require further information, please do let us know and we can do another video covering these extras. Now, to start the registration process, I would first come to this box highlighted in yellow. It can give you some information that may help before you do start the registration. So, for example, it advises that to be able to gain full access to the website, you must register your company or organisation details. It also covers if you do believe that your company or organisation has already registered on this site, but you are just a new user who requires access, you wouldn't actually need to re-register. You just need to contact one of the existing registered contacts and ask them to add you as a new contact. And then finally, it asks you to note that any fields marked in yellow are mandatory, meaning that unless you have filled in these sections, you will not be able to move any further on with your registration. So starting the registration itself then, as you can see, the registration below for myself is completely blank. Just to save a little time, however, I have set up a second page where I have pre-populated my answers. So this is the registration with my answers pre-populated, as I said. So the first piece of information that are required to proceed with the registration are company details. So starting with company name, it'll then ask for either a company registration number or a unique taxpayer reference. You can select one of these two. So you'll see here that it does ask for a company reference number. You may or may not have one of these, depending on whether you are registered via Companies House. I've selected to the right here, I do not have a company reg number, so if you don't have one, nothing to worry about, you can proceed without. However, if you do have one, it is down as a mandatory field. So below here, it asks for website details. So if the company you are registering for does have a website, I would advise to put it in. The more information you can fill in at this point, the better. It saves having to do it later down the line. So next then, structure, you would select the structure that best matches the company that you are registering. Tax identification code, if you have one of these to hand, this is where you will populate that. A company summary, so any information that you feel relevant into this box, and then move on to the next question. So, are you an SME? So that is the first section of company details finished off. Moving on to address. So this is going to be the address of the company that you are registering for. So first line of your address, second line of the address if there is one, town or city that the company is registered to, county or state, postal code, and country that the company is registered to. That's the next section complete. We'd now move on to contact details. As you can see, generated a false number, but an 11-digit contact number is what would be required in this box. So moving on to the next section, user details. So these are details of whoever is going to be the contact using the profile via Intend. So you can select this as the main contact. You will have an option to add other contacts later, either in the registration or later once you have set up the profile and activated it. I've selected myself as the main contact, as you can see here. They would need your title, first name, last name. They ask for a telephone number, fax, mobile, job title within the company, which department it is that you work in, an email address. They would ask you to confirm that email address and then create a password. I can't see any password requirements here, so I would usually just go for something that includes at least a capital letter, at least a number, and maybe a special character. Now below here you have the option of whether you'd want to send a copy of all emails to this user, whether you would want to send project correspondence to this user, and finally whether you would want to send contract correspondence to this user. You can then add another contact, or you can remove a contact before moving on to the next section. Okay, so the next section to complete for your registration is the business classification section. Now you will need to have chosen at least one classification to move on to the next section. As you can see, I've already searched healthcare as an example and can select healthcare as a standard. Then be added to the list below. If you are unsure of the options, as it does explain up here, you are able to search while the box is empty and it'll show you a complete list. Once you've selected your options, we can then move on to the final section of the registration. Okay, so this is the final stage of the registration. This is the company categories section. Now you will just need to select the categories that relate to your business or the company that you are registering for. You have a good read through these, select the options that are relevant to the company, and then finally you are able to submit your registration. Once you do submit your registration, you should receive a link via email. You will need to follow the link to activate your profile. Once you have done so, you'll be able to log in at the main homepage. Okay, so that is the end of the registration for the Intend portal. As I did say at the beginning of the video, if there are any extras that you would like us to cover, please do let us know and we can look at doing a second video. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching.